This is the Bad Movie Reviewer here, and today I would like to bring you a review on a film that I thoroughly love, and I think people are assholes for not liking it, called The Last Nights. Not Last Night, as in the Transformer film, that's a whole different type of bad I don't even want to get into with this review. Last Nights is a story of the 47 Ronin, but with a more European setting. Oh, that's Cricket. She wants to be in the video. My beautiful cat, Blendy baby, my calico. See how beautiful she is? Well, so The Last Nights is a story of the 47 Ronin. If you've watched Keanu Reeves' 47 Ronin, then you pretty much know what the story's about. This guy, he gets adopted by a master, Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman goes on to insult an evil tyrant leader by giving him this crappy ass gift, a robe that's worth like $50 maybe or less at a Dollar General. For those of y'all don't know what Dollar General is, that's a store here in Texas, where I'm from. Um, well, he gives him this robe. The guy takes it to a fence. So Morgan Freeman's character gets arrested. When he gets arrested, he starts telling the master of the guy he insulted that he's glad he did what he did. He's just sad that he didn't do it sooner. He didn't insult the guy sooner. Maybe if he had done it sooner and stood up for what he believed, his city wouldn't be in peril. So, pretty much from there, you see that they get Lord Raiden. Yes, and I said that right, Raiden. Clive Owen's character and Morgan Freeman's right hand man slash servant to execute Morgan Freeman for treason. They say that he did treason because, again, he slapped him in the face by giving him giving him this robe. You could probably find at Dollar General for like $50 or less. So Clive Owen does the job. Then he falls into a deep depression. From there, you're seeing what he's become. He became a womanizer, a drunk. He sells a sword Morgan Freeman gave him. All this stuff, everything you saw in 47 Ronin happens here. The only difference with 47 Ronin in this film, 47 Ronin had Keanu Reeves, and this film has Morgan Freeman and Clive Owen. My personal opinion, if you want the better version of 47 Ronin, watch Last Nights. If you want a somewhat action junkie version of 47 Ronin, watch the Keanu Reeves version. My opinion, I think both films were very well done. Of course, since it's the story of 47 Ronin, you have your downtime where they're explaining the assault on the castle. They're explaining the assault towards Gizamot. That's the one. That's the villain in the Clive Owen version of 47 Ronin. And I forgot who the hell was the villain in the Keanu Reeves version. I'll be honest, when you watch the Keanu Reeves version of 47 Ronin, you're more interested in the magical aspects of the film and the beautiful visuals that the film has. Whereas when you watch a film like Last Nights, it relies heavily on its actors doing their job and keeping you interested in the film, which I feel Morgan Freeman and Clive Owen did a great job of doing that. They kept you so engaged with their stories and with the reasoning for doing what they did that you really didn't need all this witchcraft, wizardry, and everything to distract you from a terrible film. The film stands on its own merits with wonderful storytelling and great actors. I mean, some people I know, they're gonna say, ugh, they're gonna roll their eyes and say another 47 Ronin. But this 47 Ronin with Clive Owen and Morgan Freeman was the better 47 Ronin, in my opinion. I mean, I'm not knocking the director. The director who did this film was only is only known for doing two other films, and they were both foreign films. Okay, so I can kind of forgive him if the film is kind of bland and all over the place. I can forgive that. I know I'm gonna have many of you saying, "Well, I watched last night's." Those of you that have seen the Clive Owen movie, 47 Ronin, but I know they call it last night's, and you're gonna say, "Well, it was boring, it was bland." Of course, it's boring and bland because the director went on to state he didn't want any wizardry or magic in his film. He wanted to make a film that is character based, so he tried to get the two most powerful actors he could find that would be willing to star in his film to do so. Which, in my opinion, I think he did a good job. I mean, Morgan Freeman, you hear that voice screams narrator. Clive Owen is a great actor. He did a wonderful job with King Arthur. I love that film. This film right here, he did a wonderful job, and he was able to hold his own. So did Morgan Freeman. And his side characters, which is his men, his army, they were also functional and good too. I mean, they're not no one noteworthy or anyone you're gonna remember. They're more like Joe Blow actors. They're the type of people that you would find out in the street corner and hey, you want to be in a movie? And since they know it's going to be their only film, they're going to act their ass off to get the film going. So, yeah, they're pretty forgettable, but at the same time, they're functional and they help move the story along pretty well. The visuals are great. The sword fighting, when it happens, Clive Owen knows how to swing a sword, so does Morgan Freeman. So when that shit happens, you feel it. The beginning of the movie opens with the battle. Whereas the Keanu Reeves version of 47 Ronins opens with something else entirely. See, I know some people out there are going to compare the two films and say they're both trash. That's not true. Where Keanu Reeves' film relied heavily on magic and myth to keep you entertained and to keep you from figuring out that his version of 47 Ronins was trash, the Clive Owen version is character based, so they rely on you liking Clive Owen and Morgan Freeman to keep you engaged in the film. Personally, I didn't find nothing wrong with it. I think it was a great film. It has a whole bunch of rewatch value if that's your thing. It's very interesting, very fun, very likable film. Whereas when you watch the Keanu Reeves version of 47 Ronin, it's like you're watching The Last Witch Hunter or you're watching The Seventh Son. Don't get me started with Seventh Son. Seventh Son, I know some of you out there didn't like the film. I found Seventh Son enjoyable for what it was. And it was enjoyable as a mindless popcorn actioneer. Seventh Son, and you're going to hear me in my reviews use that a lot, was a type of film that I feel that, yeah, you could be on your computer, you could be doing your work online. If you work from home, you can turn around and poke your head and look at the film every now and then and be like, oh, cool, Seventh Son's on. I got something good on in the background. And when people ask you, hey, what are you watching? Oh, I'm watching Seventh Son. Is it a good film? Oh, it's decent film, mindless popcorn action here. The type for good for ambient noise. The type of film, like Super Mario Brothers, which was a good movie to me, but to others it was terrible. Then, with Last Nights, it's not like that. Last Nights will keep you engaged. from start to finish. There's really nothing wrong with it. Yes, it does have downtime. You know what? Let's get into that. The downtime really comes when Clive Owen starts talking. The guy can talk, but he shouldn't really do it. See, that's what hinders this film, The Last Knights. What hinders it is them trying to do too much character development. I like character development in my films. That's just fine. You want to flesh out and develop your characters, but don't over flesh out and develop your characters. Give the viewers a chance to take in what you're already giving them and give them a chance to take in what you've already given them. You know what I mean? Morgan Freeman is Morgan Freeman. I'm not going to diss Morgan Freeman. The only bad choice I think Morgan Freeman has ever made was Oblivion. But that's my opinion. That film, I like Tom Cruise to death. But my opinion, Oblivion was just bad. Tom Cruise is a damn good actor. He just recently did this fucking badass film called Mission Impossible Fallout. I love the fuck out of that film. That's one of my favorite films. I also like Tom Cruise in the Jack Reacher films. I prefer the second one over the first one, but that's just me and my opinion. That's just, like I said, just me and my opinion. But Oblivion was a rough role for Tom Cruise and Morgan Freeman. I mean, I might be going into spoiler territory telling you that Morgan Freeman is in the film Oblivion, but I mean, you can see it when you buy the DVD, so it's really not hiding nothing. It's just like when people get on my ass because I tell them the Gundam and Mechagodzilla fight scene at the ending of Ready Player One was one of the best fight scenes I've seen. Hello, you already knew that there was going to be a great many pop culture characters in Ready Player One because they were relying on the video game aspects more than they were relying on character development and story in that film, and that made that film boring. No, you want to talk about a boring film? Watch Ready Player One. That was boring. The video game aspects are awesome in there. When he's in the game, it goes off. When he's out of the game, it suffers from Assassin's Creedism. Where the film starts getting boring, bland, and really nothing's going on. See, but at least in Ready Player One, the character was able to walk around in his world, in his city, and go different places. Whereas Assassin's Creed, Michael Fassbender's just in a fucking lab, and he's like running in circles in the lab. If he's riding a horse, he's galloping in a circle in the lab, running on walls in the lab. All that shit, and it gets boring and tedious after a while. Fantastic Four did it, and it made that film a terrible film. The reason Four Stick was so terrible was simply because, plain and simple, all they did was stay in that lab. And then they made Dr. Doom look like Data's daughter with green LED lights crossed with a crash test dummy. But that's my opinion. Anyway, back to Last Knights. Yeah, Last Knights is a wonderful film. I really like it. I know many of you will probably hate it, and that's fine. You have a right to your opinion. I'm not going to try to change your opinion to feed my own. This is the film I'm talking about. This is the film that I believe you should pick up and you'll enjoy. This is the better version of 47 Ronin than Keanu Reeves. When you get a chance, watch it. Judge it for yourself. If you like it, let me know in the comments. If you don't, well, let me know in the comments also. This is the Angry Reviewer. I'm me, you're you. I'm out.